While Wits University students are continuing their protest this hour, our reporter Slindelo Masikane has been following them. She joins us now live. Slee, of course, this protest has been moving throughout the city centre, in particular Braamfontein. Let's talk about how it's going and where police are.
Well, Shahan, we have moved from the corner of of Nzimande and Joris Street, where we saw some of those burning tires. But now we are seeing the protest action moving around the Braamfontein business district. If I just ask Noko to move a little bit closer, you can see that cars are being turned away. We're now on the corner of the Korta and Mount Streets here in Braamfontein. And what we've been told by those protesting right now is that these protest actions will continue until their call for free decolonized education is realized. We know that yesterday we saw some chaotic, violent scenes between students as well as police officers that resulted in a fatality. Today, however, a very, very different scene. In fact, you can barely see any police officers. I do see some security officials. They are, although, around the perimeter of Braamfontein, diverting motorists as well as traffic to alternative routes, because at this stage I would say that the Braamfontein area is certainly a no-go area, as these students have shut down many of the stores. Many of the stores have opted to close because they are basically trashing the streets with rubbish as well as bricks and stones. In fact, one of the restaurants had their tables and chairs thrown around. So at this stage, we're just seeing the protesters being allowed to exercise their rights while police officials divert traffic around them.
Has there been any joy in terms of private talks between Wits University and these students? We saw the Vice-Chancellor speaking earlier to the media, but what about those private discussions to try to find some solution to this issue?
Not at this stage, and if there are plans to engage with possibly the SRC, the student body, those talks we have not heard of. We did see, of course, the briefing by the Vice-Chancellor of Wits University this morning, who was described by the SRC president as a pop star, if I quote him correctly. But we understand that that media briefing actually took place without the engagement of the student body in the least. And so I think that will not bode well for the leadership of the university in terms of finding a solution. We do know that these students are saying that this call is an age-old one. 6 years ago, we saw similar scenes that started at the University of the Witwatersrand. That was the Fees Must Fall movement. And you would have thought that 6 years later, government as well as universities would have found a solution for students who at this stage are in a crisis, many of them saying that their parents have been retrenched. Money is just, it's so slim right now, you know. Their families simply cannot afford to pay these exorbitant fees. But if you'll just allow me, Shahan, to move towards some students here to my left. One of them I was speaking to earlier on, just trying to get a sense of whether they do support these protests. You do understand that the EFF Student Command refuses to speak to me. Unjan Put.
I'm okay, yourself, ma'am?
I'm good. Just tell me, are you a student and where you're studying right now?
Oh, I'm a vet student doing education, 4th year.
4th year. Just tell me, has it been easy for you as a student to study? You know, have you been able to afford it?
Well, in all honesty, like it's very hard. I mean, well, there is NSFAS, no, but however, there are other students who are paying from their pockets, from their parents' pockets, and some lost their bursaries because of whatever reasons, maybe because of the COVID-19. So in a nutshell, it's a problem for every student. So even though I'm accepted at Wits right now, but other students are at home and it's a problem for them. They can't come to school.
Yeah. So you support this protest in particular?
No doubt. I'm in full support of this.
Yeah. All right, Johan, as you can see, many of the students saying that it doesn't really matter how you're politically affiliated. This particular issue is an issue for all students.
Yeah, all right, we're going to leave it right there. We'll check in with you a little later. Our reporter, Slindelo Masikane, is